Got it.
You're going to say, let me see you get down.
Hey, Mom, let me see you get down. Okay, so we had a Power Pack podcast, and I do these special for you guys every month. So I thought, well, I'm just going to see how many people are even listening to this. And I only had Madeline, Heather, Ricky, Aaron, Lucina, Tanya, Megan, Hutton, and Marnie. Now, was there anybody else that emailed me and said they got to the end? Because that's all I think I had. So I'm going to do a drawing right now. I have a little bowl. It has an Easter lamb on it. And I'm going to quickly do a drawing to see who's going to win $100 for listening to my podcast. It's going to Heather Daggett. Woohoo! Heather, you won $100. Do you have Venmo? Okay, I will Venmo it to you. Okay, so I'm going to throw out some little sayings in between everything we do tonight to just keep you motivated. And a saying I found today is don't stop until you're proud of what you've done. So I think that's a good one to think about. Don't stop until you're proud. Turnover. We've had a few and we are getting through them, and I am so appreciative to the people that tell me early. So if you're wavering and you kind of think you're going to be doing turnover, it would be a great idea to have that discussion with your rep or with me, because maybe we could help you make the decision. And the earlier we know, the better. So thank you for letting us know that. Spring show, if there's any questions that anybody has on spring show, put it in the side chat, because I have several people watching the side chat, Marnie and Allie and Christina and Amanda and Joel. So if you have questions, please go there. And then show expense forms, try to get them in as soon as possible. And I know there's a lot of back and forth on those, and Christina is trying to do everything she can do to get them back to you quickly. Some people are doing the Rock a Doo-Wop show. Some people did that in the fall. Some people are doing the 40th anniversary show. So this is probably one of our most unusual years. As everything else this year, our shows are different. So just how can we help you with that? Let us know. And then summer schedule, we canceled that meeting today because most of you have done it already, and we know that. It was more for the people that haven't gotten it done that we wanted to talk to. So if you need help setting up your summer schedule, I would love you to write in the chat that you need help setting up your summer schedule or you need advice. Because then what we'll do is we'll do a little target group just for you guys to help you. So that was all I was going to say. There's still time if you haven't done it, because summer is a great way to get some new kids. It's a great time to do princess camps. It's a great time to, a lot of people are doing technique camps and 4-day camps to get kids interested for next year. Some people do a thing in August, like a boot camp and tryouts. A lot of people do their tryouts after the boot camp to try to make sure more people go to that. So just going for that there. They're trying to get on that. I would never say that there. I don't know why I said that. So going live, we have 21 programs that are live with their spring registrations already. And if you are going live, Christina asks that you really, really proof and look at it before it goes live. Is there anything you want to say, Christina?
Just really make sure to look at your billing stuff and make sure you have everything set so we don't make changes later.
It's way harder to do it later, correct?
Yep.
Than it is in the proof.
And so we're trying to be really diligent this year on all of that. So make sure when you get those proofs that you're looking at all of your pricing too and not just skimming over that.
Awesome. And they're working fast and furiously on those. The more organized you turn it in with the correct MK numbers and all that kind of stuff, the better it goes for us in the office. So just mentioning the FAM trip for going to Florida is August 12th through the 15th. So if you have any interest in going to that, you're more than welcome to add on. We need to know soon. Last year it got canceled. We're going for it this year. We're hoping it's going to go. I just have to share that as you struggle through things with the bowl game, every hotel person that we've worked with now is no longer there. The person at Busch Gardens is no longer there. The person at Tampa Tourism is no longer there. So it's just been like the bowl game person's still there, and a couple people like the Starship person is there, but almost everybody else is gone. So we are inventing the wheel. We had great relationships with many people for like 20 some years. And now it's like, okay, a whole new thing. The travel agent went out of business that we've worked with for over 30 years this year. So everything is new for the bowl game. So we're working on it though, but it's been challenging. Okay, so then I'm going on to ribbons at competitions. We would love you to do them there. And the reason is because then if people want to buy a medal, it's kind of an unusual year that they could do it live there. They could do their platinum, their gold, their high platinum at the event. And that will be at least something special for them to get. Try to communicate with parents when you're going to do the awards. Like, are you doing them at class? Are you going to do a special ceremony? Because sometimes we get the questions and we don't know exactly what you're going to do. Amanda, are you on here?
Yeah. Do you want to see me?
Well, I just wanted to ask you a question. Can you tell them, like, for people that have not yet competed, when do the awards typically come out after the event?
We typically send out the link. It would either be like Thursday morning or it's been as early as Monday night. It kind of just depends on the workload of, like, when we had the 3 in one weekend, that kind of took a little longer. But so we send them out the week after. They get their gold, high gold, ribbons and that score at the event. And then the division placements and the overall placements come the week after. And then the actual physical awards are taking a little bit longer just because stuff is picked up at the T-Hive with like softball jerseys and just things like that. So it was a week out. It's kind of now been 2 weeks out. I think we might even be hitting a little bit longer, like 2.5 weeks out.
All these medals are custom.
Yeah.
And the ribbons are custom to that day. So that's why we can't have them made.
So what happened is I ordered the stuff beforehand and there was so much waste. And because we know the results after, that's why we've decided to order them afterwards and not have all that waste and extra work. And it just because we can do that. So we appreciate your patience on it. And it is, I mean, especially now, like saving some of the money because we had a lot of waste because you don't know who's going to win or how many ribbons and things like that.
You don't know how many golds there's going to be and how many, or I mean, first or second.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so we had like several plaques, tons of ribbons left over, and it was a lot of work, that it was kind of wasteful.
Okay. And as long as we're talking about plaques, we've had some directors bring up that they hate the plaques. They don't even use them. They throw them in a bag. I would love you to write in the chat if you don't even use them. So
I think Christina's going to send out a Google Doc on that.
Yep.
So
I'm going to send something out with a couple questions and you guys can tell us what you like. And I think we might, Amanda and I were talking about it today. If you don't want the plaques, we don't need to be spending money and our time on them. And if you want them, you can still have them and we'll just order for those people.
How about,
since we're ordering after the events, the people that are just like not doing anything with them, we kind of feel like we don't need to spend all this time making those. And the people that want them, we can just make them for the ones that want them. So like if you don't do anything with them and they just sit in a box or you don't hand them out or display them, then I kind of don't feel like we need to, waste the time on making all of them.
we don't use them in Brainerd. I throw them back and recycle them normally and peel them.
And that's okay. We want to do whatever you guys prefer and what you've been doing. We just got to thinking if they're just sitting there, then
because some people use them. Some people hang them in their studios or hang them in their
loft. Don't feel bad if you don't.
Yeah.
Like if you're not a bad person.
We want to give them to you. We just are asking a question. Yeah.
Yeah.
Try to communicate with your parents on when the awards are coming. And I know you do, and they don't read it anyway. Because we get a lot of questions on that. And then we've been posting the pictures on the Just for Kicks official Facebook, correct? So we try to post pictures of every event in a pretty timely fashion. And if we forget one, like Shreya must have missed one and then she added it on later because I kind of got called on Facebook by somebody. So yeah, and then where are the live streams? Explain the live stream thing because some people got confused by that.
Me?
Yeah.
Do you want me to just share my screen and show where it is?
Sure.
You can share it while I'm talking if you want.
Good.
So what's happening is a lot of you guys are trying to help your parents out by going directly in to the event's live stream, and we can't do that. The reason why, and I know that it's helping them, but the reason why we can't do it is if they have a problem with the link, like the morning of, and they have to start something over, or if it's a longer than 12-hour competition, we have to do 2 separate streams. So if they make any sort of change to that, that link is no longer working. And so we have lots of people panicking the day of because they try to go into that link and it's not going to work. So we want you guys to direct them to the main Just for Kicks page under events, and then go to TWDs and just stop right there. Then you can verbally tell them, or, just text them or tell them where to go after that, but don't actually link to the specific event, because like if anything changes on that, those will not work anymore. So if you just link them to this page, that's all you have to do. Then tell them scroll down, find our thing, and then hit watch live or whatever it says. I don't even know what it says. Allie, can you scroll down a little bit? Yep. So then keep going. So then where it says live link coming soon, it'll say watch live, and then they just click on that. Don't link them to that link though.
So I don't get what you mean. Don't link them to that link.
So don't click on that link and then copy that thing. Just link them to the main page.
And then the day of, they go there.
Then
Okay.
they go to the
You
main
just
page.
tell them to scroll down.
Because
Yeah.
it may get changed if there's a glitch. That's
If
what
there's
you're
a
saying.
glitch, or if they have to, because like we've had several things happen. We had to switch from Vimeo to YouTube, then all those other links didn't work, so they'll always work from that main page. Just send them there.
And Nick has been a rock star with all of this, I gotta say, and Mikey, and we have so many people involved with this. It's been awesome. But the one thing I was really proud of is like one mom said she didn't get she was from Horace. She didn't get to watch. Nick found the video and sent it to the mom. I don't ever want everyone to do this now, but because it's very time consuming, but he sent it to them. And then something else that I didn't know is when you're watching the live stream, you can rewind it. Is that correct?
Until they post it, because once they
Okay.
post it, it's taken down.
Because you know how some people think they missed it and they didn't realize they could have rewound it and watched them. They go, oh, I missed my child. Well, you could have watched it. You could have rewound it and watched it. So that's good for them to know.
Basically,
What?
until the event is over.
Right. So I think a lot of people didn't know that. They thought live meant live and they just didn't even think of rewinding. So now we know that that can happen. Okay. So moving on, nationals. Amanda's got the schedule almost done. We think it's going out tomorrow. We just need a couple more people to look at it. Joel, is there anything you want to talk about flow of the building or anything? No, put you on the spot.
No, not really. We're still working through a ton of details with them and tons of different layouts and different things of how people are going to be coming in and going out. I can't remember if we talked about this one other day, but each specific venue in the Civic Center is being treated like it's its own building. So if you're performing in the arena, you have one door to go in. If you're in the auditorium, there's one door to go in. If you're in the exhibit hall, there's one door to go in and out. So we're kind of working through all those details. They're bringing in what they call highway bleachers for the exhibit hall, and we're going to basically turn that into a gym. And then we're talking about setting up stores outside with big like carnival tents versus having them inside, so people when they come can go to the store outside and not get in, not have to get inside, and then when it's their time to leave, they can get out of the building and we can kind of move people in and out that way. So I don't know if that answered what you were looking for, but
Well, so sales are outside. Awards, we're going to do those afterwards virtually. We cannot do them live, and we all know that, I think, and we'll get all this information to you, but it's been a process. Like today, I think I talked to 3 different departments at the Mayo Civic Center, because like the food department's one department. They are going to have concessions. And like the bleacher people and the scheduling, everything is different people. So it's going great, and they love us. They want us back so bad. They're just jumping through hoops. When we asked if we could have a store outside, first they said no. And then pretty soon they said, just do whatever the hell you want. We just want you here. So just do whatever the hell you want. So we were like, okay, that's great. We're going to do showcase specific things at the end, like senior showcase for hip hop and kick. We're going to do that at the end since everybody's not involved with it. We can let you guys stay on that want to talk about that. Okay. So anything with the other competitions, Amanda? Wahpeton, Streeter, Sioux City, Osage, Medina, and St. Cloud 4.
I saw a comment in the chat asking if we're doing gold, high gold, platinum, et cetera at Wapaton, and I believe the plan is yes, we are.
We're doing it at all of them, I believe, every single thing coming up.
which
And
makes it a
what-
little harder, but people are loving it. So we're trying to keep it.
And
So
what we're kind of talking about doing is kind of announcing that as the event, happens. So people kind of know where they're at, a couple routines after they dance, you'll announce, we won't say the points probably, but we'll say what they were, if they were platinum or high gold or.
who's announcing Sioux City?
Joel,
Joel, you are, and who's announcing WAP?
Joel.
Oh, Joel. Okay, good. You like your mother. One thing we want to do, you guys, is okay, like when Devil's Lake is up to perform in Wapaton and it's their senior class, I want to say the seniors from Devil's Lake are, and have them step forward and let them wave and go back into dance, because we can't do everybody on the floor for senior rec, but we can individually recognize them right when they're ready to perform. And it would take 2 seconds, but again, we're gonna need your help to know their names. So
I'm
that,
gonna have to send out a Google Doc on that.
and try to get them in right away, because we want to be able to do that, but we can't chase after you that day. So if you would do that, that'd be great. Just get us seniors.
Couldn't we just have, Amanda, couldn't we just have them, like, I'm thinking this weekend in Sioux City, couldn't we just have them hand me a piece of paper that says?
Well, I
here-
was thinking I could just send out like I normally do with like their t-shirt size and all that. So we're gonna have to get that anyway, I'm guessing,
Okay.
since we haven't done that yet. Sorry.
So yeah, that reminds me, we got to do that, right? Okay, so any other questions on those event?
Can I just touch on Wapaton really quick with the wristbands that were sent out today?
Yeah,
So everybody going to Wapaton today, we sent out a packet to you that has 2 wristbands for every parent. And I put your most current wristband report as of this morning in it so that you could see who's dropped, so you don't give wristbands to those people. So if you have questions on that, let me know, but they all went out today. So you should be getting those. So know that those are the
That
parents'
makes me feel good.
wristbands, not your dancers.
And give them to the paid people.
Paid people. Yep.
Well,
So
they
you'll
don't-
have to, you can access your wristband report all the time. So you'll just have to kind of keep loading that and crossing people off as they pay, so you know who to give wristbands to.
it's kind of a pain in the butt for you guys. We apologize, but we don't know how else to do it to monitor it. So I know in Brainerd, all we did, all we're gonna do is get plain white envelopes at Walmart and write the names on them, and just maybe have a parent sit and help you stuff them. So you don't have to do it all, but that will help us a little bit. Also,
Hopefully it's-
also reminding you that the new way that we're doing these competitions, like what we've done in Streeter and in Brandon, South Dakota before, and Grand Island, and now we're doing it in Wapaton, where we have no admission. We did it at nationals too. Make sure you don't say that it's for the admission. It's just their entry fee to the competition. And the first one is higher and then it goes down. And I did a cost comparison for you with the other competitions, because we are way lower than what they're doing. And I think it's important to know that. So if you have any parents complaining, which I had one mom call today and she was awesome by the time, she just didn't get it. I said, it's not really the admission. And I said, on a normal year, you could just pack people in and it would be to your advantage. This year, it's a little not as great because you can only have 2 come in, but we would love to have more. We just can't this year. And that's the way I said it. And she was like, I get it. I understand. She was great after she got off the phone. Unlike the other parent that hung up on me today, but she was having a bad day. So, and that's something I just want to say. You're going to have those people just want to take COVID out on you. They want to take their financial situation out on you. They want to take their anxiety out on you. Everybody's nerves, it seems like, are like this. So I was talking to one special director today, and it was the quit taking it personally. We gotta learn, like when that mom hung up on me, I just went, ooh, she's having a bad day. I didn't go, oh, I'm such a horrible person. I want you to really start thinking that it's not your fault all the time, right? We just need to empower ourselves to be stronger and let the bullets just go off you. And if you have trouble with that, we want to hear from you. And that's the time I like to talk to you and go, help you to feel better about yourself. Okay. Because it's tough sometimes to take the heat from all these parents. And most of the time they come back and say they're sorry. most of the time. It's just that they were angry right at that moment, you know? And I think we've all been there. I lost it in the McDonald's drive-through a couple weekends ago, and I yelled, I've never done this before, but the person in front of me let 7 cars go through on the other side. And they were asking,
Really unbelievable.
it was pretty unbelievable. And they were asking, what is a Egg McMuffin? What is on it? And then they kept asking and asking, and we were late for a competition. So yeah, finally I go, what are you doing up there? Just order, you know? So I was kind of out of my mind, and that happens to people when they're under pressure. So just don't take it personally. I still love the McDonald's guy. Okay, so moving on. Anything else with competition?
The only schedule we're waiting on right now is Osage, and I'll get that done this weekend.
Because you sent streeters out yesterday, and today virtual went out. And
Virtual went out a while ago. That was just an update.
Today. Okay. Next convention is June 21st through the 23rd. Now you will be able to arrive really late. Which day, Christine? Monday.
The
And-
21st. Sorry.
Yep. So you get there later on Monday. So you stay Monday night. Do they stay Tuesday night?
Yep.
So 2 nights, Monday night and Tuesday night, and then you go home Wednesday around 1.
Wednesday's short.
Wednesday's short, but we hope you stay till the end of it. You know?
It's jam-packed with fun people.
Yeah, we're having a guy come in to play games with you again. We did that about 10 years ago, and he's coming back. He's really fun. We have a jam-packed schedule for you. The thing I'm really excited about is I feel like we're going to do a lot of Zoom calls for a lot of the housekeeping and stuff we have to get done. And we're going to try to use convention to network a little more, break out into some breakout groups so we don't have this urgency. It's just changed with Zoom. That's one positive thing that's come out of it, is we don't have to sit there and get through every single thing. We can have some fun, and I'm getting excited for that. So let's just pray that we stay COVID free and no more shutdowns. We've been having not a special surge, a very unspecial surge in our county right now. And we can just feel it. We're getting hit. Like, we had 3 people in the office, you guys, and we've had kids at our studio. And so it's happening again, but let's hope we can keep it shut down. So, but convention, June 21st through the 23rd, we hope you make every effort to go. Yes, you can bring your head instructors. I think that there's a charge for that. Christina, you might know that. I don't know that. And
I don't know what it is off the top of my head. I'll have to look, but it's minimal. It's a minimal charge for them.
good. And it would be very valuable for them to come. I think this year we're going to color code them. So head instructors are in a lot of different classes than you are. So we can keep them separate and keep them doing what we need them to do rather than hearing stuff that we really don't want them to hear. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like payroll things and that kind of stuff. So we will try to do a better job about keeping them separate. Let's see. I was just going to say something else about it. Oh, next on my list was that Marnie and I are creating a thing for next year already. And it is for continuing ed for directors. And we're doing it month by month. And if there's anything you want to make sure we cover, if you email me or Marnie, we will make sure we get it in there. It's just something that you want for more continuing ed during the year, like time specific to what you want. And by continuing ed, a good example would be setting up your summer program or dealing with head instructors or, you know, something like that. My goal is to do more head instructor ones. I started thinking that's something we could be doing because we did the one in August and they loved it. I think I had about 100 people on it. And why don't we do more? That's not that hard for me to do. So I could start doing one every 2 months. If that's something that'd be helpful for you, I'd be happy to do that. Because I think it helps you if they are being helped more. So, and I just want to say, you guys, you're on the, you know, spring is a time of new beginnings. I always love spring. And the one thing I want to just say right now is you have made it through one of the hardest seasons we've ever had. If you start the whole year, if you start a year ago in March, what we have all made it through is unbelievable. So really be proud of yourself that you've made it through this year. You're almost there, but give yourselves a hand. I'd like to see everybody very proud of what they've done. And I want you to just think about what you have learned in this year. Maybe share it in the chat if you've learned anything that you're going to carry forward. Maybe there were some things you liked better. And I know that I think we've all learned to be more patient and know that everything's not going to happen right away. I feel like my parents became more patient, especially my varsity parents and my older kids. They were just like out of sight. They, we didn't get our state schedule for the state tournament till the Monday of state. We left on Thursday, and I didn't have people going, what's the schedule? What's the schedule? And normally they're driving me crazy. So, what have you grown this year? What have you gotten better at? I really wish a few people would share what they have learned about themselves or how they've gotten stronger this year. Just be kind of neat to share that, please. Anybody or somebody you could actually talk. You could share what you think. What makes you think that you can do something now that you couldn't do before? Like, because you got through this.
I know I mentioned this before, but the live stream option, I would have never even have considered that for anything.
Your
So
shows,
that-
you mean?
just, yeah, even classes, just in general, kids missing classes, well, they can live stream from home, and I don't know, it works financially for parents. It connects people that are out of state that couldn't come. It's another revenue, way to get revenue. So live stream, everything.
I know for Corpus, like for us, it was being able to make showcases outside for us because nobody was allowing us to do auditorium performances. So like shout out to my brother and my dad and now my husband. They made a floor for the girls to dance on. And so now we do outside events and parents love it. They tailgate, and we had a parent bring a barbecue pit and start barbecuing, and we just had an all-day event. So like literally, like we're the only like studio in Corpus that is still having showcases. Like we did not let COVID stop us from doing that. So
that is awesome. And I think that's one of the big things is not taking no for an answer and figuring out a better way. Figuring out, like, if one door closes, how can you open another door and make it happen? And you guys have been resilient. You've really come through, and I just can't even tell you how proud I am of all our directors and the fact that you've been so easy to deal with. People have been great. So we thank you so much for that. And thanks for what you do day in and day out. So anything else besides National Showcase that anyone wants to talk about? Somebody had asked about,
I have a marketing question.
absolutely.
I was actually talking to Joel today, and with our registrations opening up, is there a way to have a postcard made that's built or designed for non-returns that we can send out to people who didn't come back this year? That's like, hey, come back and registration's open, and that's kind of geared towards those people.
Oh, I think that would
We
be
have something on there, don't we? I swear we did.
on Markham. I think
Yeah.
we do
I
have them.
printed them before for people. I know I have.
We can recheck on Markham, but I think there are non-return postcards.
I was just thinking maybe something more geared towards coming, like just everything going on and coming back, and
It said like we miss you on it or something. It was Sherry just did it. I thought.
something new. Okay.
Yeah, I think Heather's meaning something with, getting through COVID and the pandemic, and maybe, right, Heather, maybe a little bit more specific about that.
I felt like it said that because it said like we're cleaning and doing all these things. I don't know. Maybe I'm
Anyway,
I'll look.
I have a good one that I just saw an idea, and I actually sent it to Sherry, so maybe she could utilize this. But it said it had a mask on it, and it said something like, "We cannot mask our enthusiasm. We hope you will be back." Something like that, or "Thanks for coming back," whichever way you wanted to use it. But it kind of had a neat little graphic, so that would be.
Yeah. I mean, definitely not like we're through and it's done, because it's not, but definitely come back because it's going okay.
Yeah, I think that, and I think that's an important thing to talk about, is that we had people come back last week. The year's not over. And that's something we want to let people know is if they come back for 1 month, take them for 1 month. We're kind of like, are they going to be ready to compete? Well, maybe not, but we'll maybe put them in the back row, so you can have a kid mentor another kid and they can come back. Don't close the door, because it still could be letting more kids in. So that's a good idea. And I think do anything you can do. You can also do email postcards are easy, save you money, and you could do them weekly if the kids aren't coming back. You could bug them until they come back, they get annoyed by you, you know, so important to try that.
I just sent Sherry an email.
Okay, and someone, Katie just said the postcard on Marcom says, "We miss you. It just isn't the same without you." You know, we could change one up to say something about resilience, but we'll get on that. So,
Well, and there's still the ones like with the balloon design, and it'd just be nice to freshen it up a little bit, maybe. I just looked at them.
and we do have a new person in our graphics department, Savannah Smith, and so
I'd like to say something on that. They've been kind of dealing with me as like the graphic person, and that's not a thing that I do. I can print stuff, and that's why I think a lot of like because Tara did a lot of that stuff for us, and I can't do that. Like my stuff looks like crap. So
thank you,
Oh,
Debbie.
come on, Amanda. It's pretty good.
You got your inner graphics on. I was
So now that Savannah's here, I'm sure she'll, because we kind of had the same designs for 2 years in a row, and it was mostly because like you would have been like, get the old stuff back. So now that she's here, I'm sure that they're going to go through and wipe all that out and do some new stuff.
And Sharia actually can do that stuff too. So we do have a few people that you can rely on, but we just would like to make
Yeah.
them more the same for everybody so that we don't recreate the wheel 100 times, but we will try to recreate a new one like this. And I actually had that idea that I already sent her with the mask because I thought it was cute. I found it on Pinterest. It wasn't a dance thing, but I thought we could change it to that. So, and that's something to think about too. When you see anyone else marketing for whatever, if it's a restaurant or a club or whatever, sometimes you can get that idea and turn it into us, you know, something that we could use. So anything else? Okay. So people, I love these things I'm reading, not getting down when numbers are down, instead just pushing harder. And I think advertising more. I think we all have to do that. I think we all have to keep ourselves up. So very important to stay motivated. Surround yourself with motivated people. Celebrate your small wins. And it's really important to do that. And keep your environment positive. And guess what really helps your mood? Music. We all love music, right? So use music to up your mood and make you feel better about what you're doing. I got to class tonight and I teach 2 preschool classes on Wednesday night, and that's all I teach on Wednesday. And I leave happy because you're just jumping around the room, having fun. And we all like to move. That's why we teach dance. We're very active people. And I think it feels good. So enjoy that. Enjoy those kids, and it will make you feel better in the long run. Okay, so now anybody that wants to sign out can, and if you want to stay on to talk about Senior Showcase, here we go. And you guys, thanks again. We appreciate you. Okay.
Anya, your puppies are adorable. They're attacking you.
Just attacking your face.
Very cute.
I said it's like they've never seen me before. She's home from dance.
Oh, they're so excited. They're like little kids. Okay, so today we tried to, not today, we've been working on this for a long time, but we finalized some things today. One thing that happened today that I need your opinion on, and it's people that are in Showcase, and specifically people that had, I want to see who's still on here, because I am going to need you to weigh in on this. Okay, so our problem was this: when people's registrations were coming in, the people in Iowa, Nebraska, other states can have larger teams than what we could in Minnesota. So they've been practicing together all year in the other states. And like, for instance, in Brainerd, we have a class of 36, but we've divided it into 18 in this, and we do senior kicks twice in a row, 18 and 18. But today I didn't know what to do, because I'm like, if we get there, and this is where there's not going to be a happy gram on this, but I think it might be happier for most people. Some people may get mad, but I called Nick at the Joe Kohler at the Civic Center today. And I explained to him the different states coming. And I said, what do we do? Do we tell them they can't have a team of 32 and he just kind of paused and he said, so this is just on Friday? And I said, yeah. And he said, well, I think we could approve it for you to be able to have larger pods just on Friday with your senior kicks, since the other states are involved. So with that said, I know all of a sudden I'm going, great, but our classes have been divided all year and we would have to now put them together. And there's a few people in this position, I think North Fargo, Austin,
Elk River.
Elk River, Brainerd, North Fargo, did I say that?
Medina class, I think,
Medina,
is at Blue.
Medina, Spencer, and a lot of these are already together. I think Medina is already together. I'm not sure. Is Megan on here?
Well, Austin and Medina didn't submit that they were split, and they have 33 and 34. Brainerd is split, North Fargo is split, and Elk River is split.
And I asked our Brainerd teacher today if this was a possibility, if she'd want to move together and it would be extra work. She said, absolutely, because one's way better than
Oh,
the
and
other.
Spencer's on there with 32, it looks like.
So I guess the question is, we'd have to ask, right now, we would have to ask Elk River and North Fargo if they mind going together. So that's all, those two groups,
Well,
really.
I guess they'd have the option to still compete separate if they want to,
Right.
just knowing that we're allowing the larger group. So even at someone that might have, like, I think St. Cloud, maybe, I'm not sure, but she might have been split and only had one of her groups in there. You know what I mean? But now they're having the option to possibly go together.
Okay.
So I might be talking about something out of my
So
butt.
we have to specifically ask those people, would anybody be upset if we
We'll
did
just-
that?
Jill just asked if they can have practice together, and I think
I kind of think yes.
you're gonna have to be kind of careful, and I think, yeah, I don't know. like,
No,
we-
here's my rant that I've had for the whole year. So Minnesota State High School League made my varsity and JV go separate the whole year. We couldn't be in the same gym. We couldn't be together. We did it. We followed all the rules. We never cross-potted. We didn't bring kids up. And then every competition we got to, they put us in the same locker room. And I'm like, it's semantics. That does not make sense. So I guess I'm kind of feeling if you make them wear their masks, and I know we're breaking a rule, but I don't know. I guess I'd want people to weigh in on it. I'm just trying to see, the numbers are, a lot of people are like right under it. So it's like 3 kids or something. There's very few people that are way over it.
Right, you mean like right
Saying
over it.
Just senior kicks?
Say what?
Are you saying just senior kicks too?
Yeah.
Like my junior, like I had to split my junior kicks.
Yeah,
I think wasn't it hip hop as well?
it's
Just the 2 showcase things. I don't think we're
the
letting
2
them.
showcases. He said he would let it go on Friday. He doesn't want it happening on Saturday. And so it's just the senior showcases. Yeah, our mini hip hop is split. We have a lot. Our wee hip hop is split. So we wouldn't be putting all those together. It would just be for showcase for these senior kids to do one competition right now. That's more real, anybody want to weigh in against it? Happy for it? Tori, when we split our competition groups, we just put them into 2 different studios. Like, for instance, we did one from 5:30 to 6:30 and one 6:30 to 7:30. We just divided the class in half.
I think she meant how'd you pick the kids?
Like, yeah, like how'd you pick? I was
We-
just curious.
We just tried to do it really evenly and put like some of our stronger dancers in both classes, but still one ended up kind of stronger than the other one.
Oh, interesting. I was just curious.
With we hip hop, I think we
We
didn't-
hip hop is now back together because we have drops, so they're at 24 kids. Yeah.
Now they're back together. Anyway, I think we'll send out a Google Doc on this. Susie Spencer would not need to, all the middle kicks. I think that's the problem. If the other states have been together this whole time,
I feel like if you're already there and you're doing it, they just don't want everyone all of a sudden pushing all of their classes together, because we have like Rising Stars and Shooting Stars that are separate. We have a mini hip hop that's separate. That still all needs to stay separate. And
Right.
we need to try to comply with this 25 thing. And we know that there's other states coming in, and it's kind of unfair to like ask them to split this in 3 weeks, which
Right.
sounds whatever, but that's kind of what's happening. And I don't feel like 25 to 30 is going to make a huge
right?
difference. I mean, personally, but
I guess we just want everyone to go with the flow with it. And it's a good point. Like our middles, we've separated, lots of people have, not just us. I mean, tons of people have separated their classes. So we're not going to put them back together now. But senior showcase, if you want to put them back together, we're saying it's okay because we got his approval today. It's not like we didn't want to know before. We just didn't know before. So
And I think we have to go off of our community and really what our parents are expecting and what they're feeling,
good.
you know? Because like if Susie all of a sudden split her classes, her parents would probably, she'd hear about it.
Yeah.
Split,
So
if
maybe
you're
if we just
split-
go off of that, we know what our parents, how they feel at this point of the
Yeah.
year, because we've
And I
been,
think you're very right. There's some areas very locked down that if you tried to put the classes together, their parents would be upset. So I think you
And
do
that's why
need
I
to,
think like if you're split, stay split if that's what you want to do. Like you're not gonna be penalized for not putting them together. We're just making sure that everyone knows, because
They have the
otherwise,
option.
why didn't you tell me that there could be 30? I would have put them together, because usually that's what, that's what we would hear.
and that's kind of what happened when we were looking at numbers and like all the Minnesota teams had split and the outstate ones had not. We're like, so just for senior showcase, hip hop and kick will allow you to go back together. But if you don't want to, you don't have to. And I think everybody needs to make it, what it is this year is just going to be, it is what it is. So, and get through it. So anything else so showcase, dividing it between big and small schools or whatever, we went off of your total classes taken, just like last year. So did you send them that doc?
So I sent out a document to all of the directors to make sure we weren't missing anybody before we split it.
Okay, because we were missing a couple that had not noticed they weren't registered
And
today.
so I just sent one more right now that just said, are we missing anybody on this? Which I noticed that I didn't put Grand Island on there, so that's missing.
Okay, so Grand Island, she's on my list, no?
I know, but I didn't put it on my like actual schedule.
So
So-
basically, we're just dividing it by class size. So for instance, the largest number
No,
of,
not by class size.
not class size, classes taken. So the largest number of classes taken in the company is 952 classes. The lowest in this grouping is 73. So the mid-range is 262. So if you're above that, if you're above 262 in classes taken, then
And
you're,
that's just depending too, like if we have a bunch of ads to this too, you know what I mean? Like that middle chunk might waver.
it might go like this if we have people add, but so get your stuff in, people. That will help us a lot. And double check it before it goes out. That's, Amanda, do you want to rant a little about that?
I wish I could show you everyone, I should have said this before, how easy it is to change stuff before we bill. And how hard it is to change it and we bill. Before we bill, I click a button and it's gone. After we bill, I literally have to go in to the slowest moving computer program in the history of the world and sit there forever to try to get it out. Then I have to ask a guy that won't even hardly talk to me to rebuild the thing. And I probably have to ask him 10 times and he hates me. And
Is
so,
that
like,
Richard?
Richard.
literally he's a dick and like it fits his name. No, I'm just
Yep.
kidding.
Oh, he's a nice guy.
No,
He hates us. He hates us.
he literally hates me and hates Christina and loves Joel. so anytime he won't listen, I just tattle on him to Joel and then he like all of a sudden listens.
Then he'll
But
listen.
anyway, it's so hard. And it's like all we had to do is check the stuff before it bills. Easy. As soon as it bills, horrible.
Okay, so
Don't
is
get
there-
all the
is it-
nationals changes before that bills.
Please.
yeah, so when the schedule goes out, what are you just asking? Actually to look at it?
Look at the MK numbers, make sure you have the right classes, make sure there's nothing missing, make sure there's nothing on there that shouldn't be on there. All of it.
Who's really good at that?
Oh, put her on the spot.
I don't nobody. No, I'm just kidding.
I just
Um,
know that it's been like really
It's been
hard.
a year.
Yeah, it's been a year. So just help her out. That'd be great. But anyway, so the reason we went by class size is when we had this big, we had a group of women that came together to discuss this about 2-3 years ago. And we came up with this because we figured the people that are taking more classes a week, like say your kids are taking kick, jazz, hip hop, ballet, they should be in the harder division. And the communities taking less classes could be lumped in the less classes division. Because you see what we're saying? So any discussion on that? Anybody? So you're not gonna yell at us and stuff? Okay, so we'll just divide it right down the middle and we'll send that out and you're all gonna be little happy campers. There's gonna be the blue group and the white group and anything else you want to ask about this? You guys are not very talkative tonight.
Okay, I don't know if I,
Oh,
sorry, go ahead.
Go
I
ahead.
just didn't know if I missed this, but is it still the same? Like the layout of showcase without finals?
We're not doing
Yeah.
finals. So
I know that. So
Okay.
how's sorry, I mean,
So
what it'll
we're
be
doing-
like is you could do your like little fake division with 4 or 5 people, teams, town earlier in a.
Kinda, no.
Kinda.
Let
Let Amanda
Let
explain.
Amanda talk. Amanda and I just met on this today.
So, starting in the morning on Friday morning, and I worked from like closest to Rochester to furthest away from Rochester. We're gonna do kind of like the block situation, but because it was so many people, only had like 2 or 3, 5 teams, whatever. There's probably gonna be 4 or 5 teams in each programs in each grouping. And we'll just run any class that you guys said that you wanted on Friday. So if it was just the kick, or if you had jazz, hip hop, if you needed to get some of those out of there, anything that you wanted would be in that grouping. And so then why we did it that way is then the crowd comes in, watch all your dances, leave.
Clean.
So, after we get through all of those blocks, which is a long time, it goes till 5, then hip hop showcase will start like normal. We'll draw for placement halfway through. We're gonna switch the crowd out and then the next crowd comes in. So the first chunk of people get to watch the first half and then the second chunk of people can watch the second half. So we'll shift them out. Once hip hop showcase is done, then there's like a little break in there and then we start kick showcase. Same thing, first half can stay, shift out, second half stays, and then we're done for the day at 9:29.
And Amanda, I know I saw a couple comments in the chat about whether we're gonna do like awards, you know.
We don't have a live awards at all at nationals for any of this that I know of. I know that we'll have the option if we were talking about possibly live streaming afterwards, like a.
I think we
Yeah,
prefer-
that's what I was meaning. Like we could do that at like 10 at night on Friday night.
And we were thinking of doing like a press room where we had a thing behind us and we
Oh,
announced.
how fun.
We are going to make it fun. And you guys, I just think, you know, like I can compare it to coaching varsity this year and you make it what you make it. Like we made our own little line in the hotel room and we lined up like you would for senior showcase and the kids held hand. However, we didn't get there in time, but most of the time we did, you know, so you make it special and you're the one that helps build that up. You get your parents all around. And I got to say, I think we had really a lot of fun doing it that way. Like for sections, we got back to our own school and did it in the school and put it on the PA system so we could hear Matt Wallace announcing. So, and we've tried to do a great job. Hats off to Joel and Nick for after the fact. They spend half the day doing these videos. You know, the awards. Yeah, I know, hours and hours, because you'll come down just going, oh, we just got done. But it makes it special. And the parents are appreciating that. I really think they are. So you've just got to, I think what I would do, like if I was at senior showcase and your parents were staying at a hotel, if they're all at the same hotel, I would have them come together and listen to that. Otherwise, you could have them on a Zoom listening to it. If they're all in different places, you can be creative and do it. If you're worried about being a super spreader event, then I would do it by Zoom, you know, rather than, but we got to think it through so that you talk to your parents about how you're going to do it and how it's going to be announced. And if
We need to make sure we have our plan in place before they
One
start
thing I
announcing.
right.
want to tell everyone is like the people that start early in the day, like for example, at 8:00 on Friday, they're done at 9:30 and then like hip hop showcase doesn't start till 5 p.m. So you're going to make sure you want to communicate that to your parents. They can't stick around inside the civic center. So
They have
gotta
to leave.
Yep.
I was
and-
just gonna ask that because that honestly may affect whether like we stay in this, if I stay in that small division. You know what I mean?
well, any
You know
of
what?
it, like, yeah.
Right,
'cause
for what they're gonna go do during the day.
They'd
Like
have to go to the mall or
Right, yeah.
somewhere. Yeah. Or they'd have to have a plan of what to do in between and make it fun.
Right.
You
So,
can meet somewhere and practice if you want to. You can.
yeah, you can practice in hotel ballroom. I think
Mhm.
that'd be a great idea in small groups in a hotel ballroom. So if you got in a big hotel,
The only thing that I would suggest though is the reason why like doing this ahead of time is they get on the actual competition floor and they get to dance one time beforehand. Plus you're going to know your score. You won't get like I don't know that you'll have your score sheets. You might get those. Yeah, we can give those to you. Like your judges sheet.
No high gold, low. Yeah.
You'll get all that stuff after you dance. So I mean, there's some benefit to it, but just know like you might dance at 11 o'clock and then you don't have to come back till 5. But it's like state dance team. Like that's how, you know what I mean? Like you dance at whatever in the morning, you don't come back till 7 at night.
Let's say it's like any other sport, any other tournament.
Well, and I think a lot of kids, I mean, a lot of programs have kids dancing on Saturday as well, like if they're in jazz or lyrical and stuff, so they're staying there anyways.
Well, some that got Friday done, like wanted everything on Friday, all their Friday stuff will be done on Friday then in their little pod.
Amanda, do you have any sample timeline for like when Kick Showcase would start on
I
Friday?
put it in the chat.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yep.
Well, you just are overachiever. So, wow. Cool. So
Haven't
any
looked
other
at those
questions?
yet. I will start that as well.
Duets and small groups are going to be Friday with some overflow on
Sunday,
If
Sunday.
we need it,
maybe,
yeah.
if we need it.
Need it. Boy, solos and small groups are taking off. Like I had parents that loved these studio ones, which I didn't anticipate. They went to all 3 of them. And now Allie's had people signing up for next year already. So I think that that's something that grows and gets better. So now we're going, great. How are we going to find enough people to help all these solos? Because it's a lot, you know, but it's great. I think it makes the kids push harder and get better and get stronger.
I have a question about, I don't know how to word this. Practice time for senior showcase, kick and or hip hop. Is it going to be about the same like amount of time you would get for the block competitions where you get like 5-10 minutes from being there and then you just got to run on and do it and go?
Yeah, and there's going to be no breaks because you're actually rolled in with another town.
Yep. Okay.
I almost think you got to anticipate doing your practice prior to getting there. So like if you're staying in a hotel and you could run it there, I would do that. Or if you could run it, let's pray for great weather. Because I've run a lot of competition routines outside at Rochester, you know, just to get it in their mental break. You don't need to do it full out, like if you're out on a sidewalk, but you could mark it and go through it and and they do need to go through it in their heads before they go out there for sure. Whether you're standing out there with a boombox blaring it from your, you know, from the parking lot, they got to go through it a couple times. But this is how it's been at all the events this year. You just can't have that many people in the buildings, and it's happening. It's just, you got to be creative about how it happens. So we did have our kids wear headsets, listen to their music as they're driving and getting there. So at least they had gone through it mentally a few times, and then we pulled them together. And I just had them meet in the parking lot. And so we all walked in together and we were ready, and it works. And I was amazed at how great the parents were. I'm
kind of thinking, and maybe it's totally out there, but Bethany, don't you have a studio in Rochester?
Why, yes.
I was kind of just thinking about your studio and like could we maybe set up little blocks of time for each, you know,
I think it'd be better to do it at your hotel, because there's no way we can have 500 teams go to Bethany's.
No, not at the same time. Like throughout,
know,
like,
but-
I don't even care if I'm at 8 a.m. on Friday, but just to get that 30 minutes of practice, because my Hastings team is only an hour away. We normally don't hotel it. I was just thinking.
Then I do it in Hastings before you come at your studio. That's what we
Yeah,
did.
I was thinking that too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we did. Like for Brainerd this year, every event we went to, we practiced at home before we left. Because
Okay.
then we ran it in the parking lot. Because I just don't want Bethany to have to coordinate that. That would be unreal.
No. I was just.
Yeah, a good idea, but I'm gonna squelch it. Yeah, it would be too much. So anything else, anybody? And we will be live streaming this, so really cool on that. Well, we can wrap this up, and any questions come in after this, that'd be great.
Hey,
We're
Miss Cindy. Hey, I've been here the whole time. I just been working on our virtual TWD right now, and I just want to say how crazy and how many numbers we have. But it's really
Hey, Nick.
cool.
Can I
How many
interrupt
are there?
you? Nick, I need to interrupt you. This is kind of emergency. So
Yeah.
I sent out the PDF of the virtual thing and I thought that because the link was cut off that they couldn't get on them. But apparently you can click on all those links. Can you make them private so they can't see all those?
Yep.
Sorry.
do. That's why I'm here.
I had them half cut off, so I didn't think that they'd be able to get on them,
I
but
didn't
literally
think
you
either,
click
but-
right on them and get to it.
Yeah. But no, just have how many routines we got and seeing all the different towns where you guys filmed is so cool. And it's gonna be
How
really
many virtual routines are there?
900 and some, I think, right?
Wow.
yeah. There'll be a
So
whole
yeah,
summer
we
in
might
there.
want to do that right away, Nick, because like people are clicking on watching the divisions.
Yeah,
Oh.
working it. Oh, I'm on it. So
Yeah,
just want to
for
hop on
me-
and say that.
Well, thank you, Nick. All right.
Good job, Nick.
Good job and thanks for all your hard work, bud. Lots of traveling going on, a lot of late nights for our crew, a lot of long weekends, and they've been doing great. We appreciate them. Well, you guys, this is about it. So have a great night and take care. Thank you, everybody. Heather, I'll try to Venmo you. If you get something from someone called Sinful Cindy, that really is me because Allie set up my Venmo account and I had nothing to do with it and she was a joke and it's a man. So when you get Sinful Cindy, that's a man, it's me.
Wow.
I think mine is Coach Daggett, 90.
Okay, I'll look for you.
Like that.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Doing
Thank
it right
you.
now, Heather. Okay.
See you later.
Thanks, guys.
Cindy,
Yeah.
I sent a PDF out of like the virtual thing to all the directors.
Uh-huh.
I thought
Hey,
because it was a
It's
PDF.
recording.
Okay.
Oh
just-
yeah, it's still recording.
How do I stop the recording? I can't find it. Oh,
Press
wait.
the